Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's come back to the Starcraft Let's Play. Yes, you've clicked on this video because there's no content on the internet you would rather be consuming. Let's consume the final Protoss missions. The last 3 Protoss missions, to be precise. But first, let's watch a cinematic. The Return to Aiur. I don't think I watched this in the last video, so yeah. Hopefully this is not a repeat. If so, fucking skip it, idiot. Tassadar was taken into Judicator custody and sentenced to stand trial for his crimes against the Conclave. Phoenix, Raynor, and Tassadar's followers escaped from the Conclave's agents as the Dark Templar slipped away in the chaos. Oh yeah, let me talk about that cutscene first. Because I have to talk about the cutscenes every single time. By the way, that was not something you should have skipped because I'm pretty sure I did not watch that last time. So this kind of characterizes the sound staging of The Ambush, which is a cutscene that I criticized for being highly inconsistent with everything else. Now, I think somebody in the comment section, or maybe just in my DMs or in the Discord server or something, somebody mentioned at some point that it makes sense for the Terran militaries to be completely distinct and in some capacity having some differences, where some of them are using old tech and whatever. I don't agree with this premise because we're dealing with a game. We're dealing with cutscenes that are meant to be consistent with game lore and gameplay experience. So we obviously want to throw that concept out the window immediately, right? I think that's fair to say. It's not that it doesn't make logical sense. It's that it doesn't make utilitarian sense for a video game, for supplementary media that is supposed to help us sort of get a better feel thematically for whatever's going on in both the story, but also within the universe that this game is set in. It sends incorrect and inconsistent messages, incongruent messages that don't help us at all when it comes to trying to figure out what the hell we're supposed to be doing or thinking about these things. It doesn't give us the right information. It gives us information that cannot be used to improve our understanding of the game. In fact, it actually does the opposite. It gives us information that actively sabotages our understanding of the game, because now we're meant to believe, based on that cutscene, that a weird rocket machine unit exists, yet we don't ever see that, obviously. So, that is like one of the many reasons why you would want to avoid that sort of approach, generally speaking. So that's my sort of counter-argument to that one dude in the comment section. But just in general, that's one of the main reasons why I stress inconsistency and incongruity when it comes to these cutscenes. It is really important to be congruent, to be consistent, to be cogent when it comes to these concepts. So hopefully that helps you understand why I stress it so much. Because without it, we have the wrong information for dissecting the thematics and the elements of the story as told to us through the gameplay. Not that Blizzard cared about that, obviously, by pre-placing a bunch of shit. So that cutscene does characterize that, the Return to Aiur cutscene characterizes the Ambush cutscene, because it tells us that Blizzard is fond, at least consistently across 2 different cutscenes, they are fond of using the warp out sound effect to demonstrate that somebody is being decloaked. Now, this inconsistency with the game can sort of be resolved as they're trying to be more epic and cinematic, or maybe they had a beta sound effect that used the same sound or whatever. And so it's not consistent with the actual game, but at least we know now that the Arbiter was not warping them in through a recall. It was actually, we can infer, based on that data from the Return to Aiur cutscene, that in the Ambush, when all those Dragoons warped in and played warp-in sound effects, they were not warping in, they were being decloaked. And Blizzard was just really silly with the read there, the audio read. So with that sort of established, that kind of nullifies a bit of a criticism that I had in the previous video of talking about that particular cutscene. And I understand that, and I wanted to get that out of the way, because that's pretty much the main takeaway there. But this cutscene should have come before the first mission. You know, there's a mission that, I don't know if you can read these titles here. There's a mission called fucking Homeland, bro. Why was the return to Aiur after Homeland? You know, the canonical event of them returning to Aiur happened before the mission briefing of Homeland. So why would you put this cutscene after? This might as well be a bug, honestly. Like, this is so fucking insanely confusing. Now, that being said, I guess they didn't want a situation where you'd watch a cutscene or a cinematic, then go into a map, and then watch another cutscene, and then go into another map. Maybe that's the issue? But then you don't make a fucking cutscene about you killing Terrans when there was like one missile turret that you blow up, maybe, optionally, in the mission that preceded the ambush. So, like, why even sort that? Just make it so that you're... I don't know, just balance your cutscenes better. Maybe make your cutscenes in a more intelligent manner. So yeah, that's my anger there. Anyway, let's do this. Trial of Tassadar. Protoss command ship Gantrathor holding orbit over the planet Aiur.
All seems lost now, but still we must fight on. We must find Tassadar and secure his release from the Judicator before they can execute him for treason. Without him, I fear there is no way to defeat the Zerg and their Overmind. Leaving us to fend for ourselves.
What the fuck? Somebody subscribes to me on YouTube, and that sound comes through even though I don't even have that in here. Fuckers, stop subscribing to me on YouTube because I get fucking notifications of that even though the scene isn't even in here. What a mess. Anyway, go back to Phoenix talking, I guess.
Us to fend for ourselves. I wonder if Tassadar was mistaken to have put his trust in them. We are receiving a transmission from Captain Rayner's command ship.
This is Rayner. I'd like to help if I can. Tassadar laid it on the line for me and my crew on Char. I'd like to repay the debt. Besides, I'm a long way from home, surrounded by hostile aliens. I've got to do something.
Then you shall, old human. You shall.
Well, that's epic. Hopefully I don't get fucking elegoned. So, I'm trying to regain my composure after getting utterly embarrassed and bamboozled by that fucking Streamlabs notification that, for like I said, shouldn't even be here. That has happened before, but at least when it was happening before, not in this series, the video, the feed, or the fucking source of the Streamlabs stuff was visible. So I thought maybe that would make sense. But whatever. Setting that to one side as I try to find my Streamlabs login information so I can disable that so that doesn't destroy me in the future. I should mention that, of course, there's not really that many problems on the face value, on this cutscene's face, or on this briefing's face, right? I don't see a huge amount of issues related to, you know, Phoenix sort of being morose about Tassadar and potentially questioning whether or not Zeratul should have been trusted by Tassadar in the first place. The problem that I see with presenting it in this manner is that I'm looking at this and I'm thinking it really doesn't even make sense for the, like, it doesn't make sense for Phoenix to be sitting here and being told, like, oh yeah, I've got to be morose, and like the purpose of my lines is to, I guess, have the player question whether or not Zeratul should have been trusted. But if the player is paying attention, they should have been questioning this to begin with, because what's happened, looking at the events since Zeratul has been rescued by Tassadar. Well, for one, we had to suffer through that ungodly installation mission, which really should never have made it into the game. For another, we had to abandon everything that we knew and loved from the Conclave from the first place just to side with Tassadar. So that was like because of the fact that Tassadar needed to find Zeratul, if you remember. Cast your mind back a little bit. And then we get here on Aiur, and suddenly we've got to deal with fucking Protoss and all of their pre-placed Reavers. Like, Jesus Christ, that's the last thing I want to do after suffering through the Zerg campaign. So as a player, I'm considering Zeratul to have been a bust. Like, there's not really much of a justification for me even bothering with this guy. So far, he's added fucking nothing to the game. He's added nothing to my war effort. I can't even train his units that he comes with until the expansion, at which point it's too late to matter for this particular plot. And on top of all that, Like, he brings with him pre-placed reinforcements and nothing else. They were useful for memeing the enemy combatants as they try to get up my ramps, but that was about it, man. That was it. That was all. It was everything. And so he's not actually useful in a utilitarian sense, in the war effort sense. Now, we're told that he's like a MacGuffin-type character or whatever. He's got some plot element about him that allows him to pierce through the Cerebrate and Overmind plot armor. And that's the only justification for us grabbing him. But really, I feel like this is a script writing flaw. Like, the script of StarCraft tells us that Zeratul and the Dark Templar are the only ways to deal with this shit. Which makes it pretty funny that Tassadar then is the one who has to kill himself. For seemingly no reason, as you'll see. And that's pretty goofy. Now, that being said, again, like, the reason why I'm bringing up all of these issues with Zeratul is that, like, we already should be thinking Zeratul was pointless. Or, like, obviously that's not what they want you to think. They want you to think maybe he's not somebody who should be trusted, I guess, according to Phoenix's dialogue. But we're already critical of Zeratul's inclusion and existence and the way that Tassadar's actions have gone. So, like, we should already be critical if we're paying attention. So Phoenix saying this is, again, like, they're using a character this time, which is better than tooltips or like an adjutant that's not really a character, but is really just there as an exposition info dumper. They're using a real character who unfortunately was resurrected, even though he should have just been written out just like fucking Kerrigan at this point. Like, God damn it, man. I'm sorry, Phoenix, but you just got destroyed. They are using a character, in this case, to info dump. Or it's not really info dumping as much as it is telling you what you should be thinking. And that is my critique of that briefing, is that this briefing is tantamount to you being forcibly told that you've got to think this way, or you should be thinking this way. Which means, I look at this as a story example of fucking with people's mechanics such that everything is easy or automated. Like, when you add automation to a game, assuming you're eliminating something that actually mandated mechanical skill and precision beforehand, what you are doing is you're raising the skill floor so that the worst players are a little bit closer to the best players. And as a result, you're also, by definition, lowering the skill ceiling in a relative sense, because the best players have less tools to demonstrate their aptitude. And the fact that they are the best players, they have less arguments to make in favor of them being the best players. Because now that tool, that mechanic has been modified and casualified to the point where casuals can do it easier. You know, newcomers can do it easier. To use a less loaded term, I suppose. I look at this as the same fucking way. It's just in storytelling. Because now you have told me what to think. Just like the automation tells me what to do in a game, or blinking buttons in StarCraft 2 tell me to train siege tanks on the siege tank mission. You're taking away the illusion, the veneer of choice, because your game never had it to begin with in the StarCraft 2's case. But in this case, the story never had the illusion of choice to read into what was going on. It had an illusion, but it never had the actual choice. So you're even taking that away in this case, and making it so that you are forced to be brought up to the same level as everybody who was already paying attention. Even if you weren't paying attention, you are forced to do that, which takes away the agency. It takes away the ability to tell which players are actually paying attention. It reduces the value in even paying attention to begin with, if all you're going to get is your shit exposited to you or told to you. It's a very similar lazy approach that is it demonstrates a fear of people taking the wrong thing away from your story. Just like doing it in a gameplay sense demonstrates a fear of people not knowing 100% what to do. If people don't know what to do, or they don't know what to think about your story, they don't know what to do in your game, some people can't handle that. Some developers fear that. And maybe it's marketing driven like Blizzard, and maybe it's apologism driven like some of the mobile developers out there, some of the mod developers out there who want to make sure that everybody can, equal playing field. Even those disabled people that have to play by smashing their face into the keyboard can play my content and understand what's going on. Even people with an IQ of 40 can understand what's going on. If that's that's the logical conclusion, that's driven to its logical extreme, I should say. That's what that mindset is. And that's one of the reasons why I always push back on it. In the case of story writing, though, this is something that pervades many industries. Movie making, book writing, TV shows and all that stuff, and as well as games. I think maybe especially games, because gamers are seen as these people who are basically mongoloids. And this is obvious by the fact that they keep pushing fucking microtransactions and a bunch of other stuff at you. I know I'm going all over the place here, but they don't respect your intelligence, and this is one of the ways that they don't respect your intelligence. Though I do believe that this way that they're not respecting your intelligence is a little bit different. I think it's because of the fact that they are just afraid to respect your intelligence. They're afraid that you might fuck off. Now, in the case of it being cynical based on marketing, like StarCraft 2 was, I think it is a little bit different than in Brood War. But obviously in StarCraft 2 is a lot worse. Like their story is a lot worse than that. But in Brood War, in vanilla, it's one of those situations where you just have to look at it and say, like, why did you have to take this cowardly approach? Like, why couldn't you have just like done it a little bit more intelligent, like done something in a bit more of an intelligent manner, for lack of a better term? Why couldn't you have written it such that I actually had to pay attention, like I was anyway, but like most people would, I imagine, at least the people in my audience. And I guess I should point this out. Barring a few curved edges, rounded edges, this is the Terran UI recolored. That's embarrassing. Destroy the stasis cell. Phoenix and Raynor must survive. Thanks for tipping me about carriers instead of just telling me what's going on here.
Anytime you're ready.
I think with the Hyperion, the Hyperion, you should actually be able to. I guess I'll just. I mean, there is an inaccessible mineral field over there.
Anytime you're ready. Right on.
Yeah, I think you should be able to just walk in here and start doing some damage. The carrier is a little bit more optional. But
As you will. This is Jimmy. Anytime you're ready.
now, unlike the AI, I have to be careful of how I approach this sort of thing. I mean, obviously the Hyperion is also in a situation where I can't repair it, so I'm going to be aggro with it in the early game, and then I'm stuck not being able to do anything with it, so hopefully it doesn't just fucking die to a bunch of scouts or something. But, wait, I start with a forge, but no gateway. Classic move.
Go ahead, Commander. Raynor here.
Anyway, this AI doesn't appear to be too interested. Nice! I just fixed this on mod stream today. How embarrassing. It took me about 10 minutes. Maybe, well, it probably took me less, honestly. Oh yeah, I can only build 4 anyway. Nice game. I always thought it was really weird that, there we go. That, these guys did it this way. Because why would you have a carrier that takes so much time and effort in order and resources in order to tech into and build? Why would you have that be your pièce de resistance when it comes to this sort of thing? Why would you pre-place it, first of all? And second of all, I guess I should kill the Reavers. But yeah, second of all, why would you bother making it so they don't even start out with interceptors? I'm sure it's fine. No, he's fine. Oh, never mind. Alright, so that's out. Of course, there's more. Go ahead and pop this now. I guess I could start softening up the zealots, but I don't think it'll matter that much. Alright, so head down there. Try to chase this guy off for a while. So as you can see, this base is not really being used. Nice observer. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention that in the Return to Aiur cutscene, I thought they did a pretty decent job. AI seems a little autistic with their photon cannon. Oh boy. Alright, go home, oh boy. Alright, clearly we need to grab some of these units. Do I have a Yamato? I can use that to pick off a scout. This is abuse, to be honest. Alright, well, I can get shield batteries or whatever. That carrier was 100% pre-placed. Nice base layout, by the way. I mean, part of that is my fault for putting the shit that way, but that pylon was pre-placed. That carrier was pre-placed. That pylon was pre-placed. Trust no one, man. I guarantee you they've already staffed this area with Reavers again. I do still have the... Oh no, the carrier died. What? Hey, get out of here, dude. Hold on. There we go. I'm a little leery of bothering with more workers since I'm sure a lot of them are getting bugged, but when that mineral field goes away, everything will be accessible, if really fucking annoying to get pathfinding-wise. Looks like I need another probe there. Oh yeah, there was a bit of a conversation lately because I guess Dawn's Mapcraft map involves some really stupid resource placements. And this is obviously for Mapcraft Season 3, Episode 8, so that people who are watching in like a year or whatever don't get confused. But people were saying that Veek was arguing that we shouldn't have people just like wasting people's time based on poor resource layouts and that being like the motivation or whatever. And DF made a good point, I think, as like a, not really a counter argument, but something that can help explain something that might be a better way to conceptualize it, which is to conceptualize it like you don't want to be malicious or spiteful of the player. You want to be able to say, hey, I've got some shit here. You know, here's some stuff for you to harvest. Maybe you have to make a decision. Do you place your production, your town hall closer to the gas than the minerals to get better gas efficiency, or do you do it to the minerals? I think it's probably something solvable, like you would always want it closer to the minerals because that's less supply on the mineral fields for efficiency or something. But maybe you could make it something that's decision-making based, or like multiple ways, multiple viable town hall placements or whatever. But yeah, I definitely have to agree with the sentiment anyway, that you don't want to be wasting the player's time. You don't want to be spiteful to them based on what they've been, you know, doing. And that's definitely something I can echo personally. So just thought I would bring that up since I was reminded based on this shitty fucking base layout that I start out with here. Man, they've got some pre-placed units. All the Dragoons are rebuilt, but... Oh. Reaver? Oh, they were Reavers. They just elected to fuck off this time. Fuck that pylon, dude. Alright. Let's get out of here. Not ever pressing L in my life to try to get an upgrade, dude. How embarrassing. Very dangerous for me to bring Raynor out right now, but I think it might work out as like a way to Yamato one of their Dragoons. I mean, you know, Reavers. The main thing I always want to deal with. I don't know why it's always Reavers, man. I mean, I know why. On a functional level, Reavers, like the weakness of it, the opportunity cost, the cost of the unit, the APM required to always keep them staffed with Scarabs, the mineral cost of keeping them staffed with Scarabs. None of it is felt by the AI if they start out with a million... Well, the APM stuff will never be felt by the AI, but... I guess I like need a robo facility of my own for observers or something. At this point, I'm mostly low on Dragoons, but maybe that's okay, because I definitely need the head start on upgrades in this mission. If there's not too many more Reavers, we might be able to do something positive here, but... See, nerd. I mean, we've already killed the production structures over here, so keep in mind that they are reinforcing off of production structures in their other base, which is like over here somewhere, top middle. The saving grace here is... that we don't really have to worry that much about... oh yeah, there's the Reaver. Decided not to build any Scarabs, I guess. Should have upgraded weapons, idiot! One of the responsibilities that I think you have in making an RTS campaign, unsurprisingly, from everything else that I've been complaining about when it comes to this campaign, is I think you do actually have a responsibility to understand the game at a reasonably high level. Now, even if, obviously, high level is a relative term, right? Like, not everybody will ever get to a point where they can understand it at an optimal level. I'm not talking about optimal. But I mean, you need to know the basics, right? Blizzard clearly didn't know the basics. I think that informs their resource placement, but I also think that it informs their pre-placed stuff. It informs their balance decisions in general. I think their balancing would have been a lot better, a lot different, more in-depth, a lot more palatable. You know? If, I just want to check my sound real quick. I suspected my music was a little loud, but sorry. Resolved it. Not too much going on there. What's up, dude? Got any Scarabs? Alright, that guy's sayonara-ing. Oh. Wow. After the attacks in the early game, what the fuck is stopping these guys from doing something useful? Seriously. What the hell? Destroyed. I've got to free that man by building a oh yeah, I have to build an assimilator. The assimilator has a different hitbox than the geyser does. Fuck that. Oh wait, I can't. Free my man! Oh, still not enough. Hey, what if I attack it with a probe? Come here, boy. No. What? This is bullying, dude. Okay, I guess he just decollided or something. What the fuck? Meanwhile. Well, I'm not building a shuttle for that guy, so he's stuck spinning. Oh, no!
I long for combat. Honor guide me. The man calls. Serve for a boon. Go. Honor guide me. We are under attack. My life for Aiur. I long
Well,
for combat.
I'm gonna just come over here with this. Wait, are they still trying to harvest something that can't be harvested, or do I just have way less probes than I thought?
Go ahead, Commander.
Thanks.
This is Jimmy. Oh yeah. This should be good. Right on. This is Jimmy.
Nice thumbnail. Dude, how do they still not have Zello legs, by the way? Yeah? How long you reckon it'll take them to try to build a simulator? 3! I'm tempted to make that the thumbnail instead, but you know. Wait, I actually got him. Oh, hi. I'll just kill this. Not risking attacking an enemy's AI's base with a wounded hero air unit. Just trip them to start defending with a bunch of other shit. Alright, I'll start rallying these guys out here now.
I long for combat.
Well, I would say I can't believe that happened, but this is Starcraft. Anything to do with autistic AI, I can 100% believe happens. Nice mineral efficiency with that one, by the way. Yep. That's not spiteful. And that I can imagine is an honest mistake. Unlike the fucking gas placement in my main. I guess I have a lot of gas. I can build some Archons. Alright, dude. I'm sure they'll eventually stop defending this, as soon as they run out of probes that are assigned to this town. Defending my base with Reavers. You notice that, like, one of the other things that happens as a result of not being able to account for the enemy's resources when designing your RTS missions, right? And don't worry, I'll finish my point on understanding the game at a decently high level, because I do think it's an important one. Wait. You should be aware that at this point... Holy fuck, dude, they really want this base. But I've got 3 weapons! Again, they'll run out eventually. Promise you. What's up, bro? But yeah, if you can't account for the enemy AI's workers or resources, you are kind of fucked in terms of the way to figure out what the fuck you should be doing attack wave wise, because it would be utterly unfair if they spent all of their money. I mean, I made this point in a different manner earlier. Is this real? Am I really watching this? They're attacking me with hallucinations instead of real units. Guys? Hallucinated attacks. Guys. Attack add to hallucination. What a disaster. Anyway, Archons only, TBH. So yeah, it's completely unfair if the AI just throws everything that it has at me. Monetarily speaking, it's completely unfair and unreasonable to do such a thing. But, of course, Blizzard doesn't really think that way. The only times you would ever get to the point where the AI is actually throwing remotely close to what its maximum capacity is at you is when you expand into an area that they're trying to defend, which is what you just saw there, where they were throwing Reaver after Reaver at me. Pranked. An RPG special effect just blew up over that fleet beacon. I guess the fleet beacon tried to cast a spell from an RPG. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's see what we can do with all these Archons. The other thing is, like, it's completely unreasonable to expect that your units can even do something as basic as, like, navigate. The map in a campaign mission where everything is pre-placed, because they could have like 80,000 pre-placed defenses like this. They could have a bunch all over the map that they didn't earn by spending the money, and they don't you know, I might be trying to reinforce from a certain angle or something, and then voila, I'm stuck. Can't do that. I am tempted to Yamato, but I would actually lose the map probably. So also, this apparently is the only ground entrance to the entire base, which is pretty ridiculous. And they don't even have photon cannons over here. I guess they have a base somewhere over there. What's up, bro? Hi. Joke's on you, dude. What a mess.
We have found Tassadar's stasis cell. We will attempt to free him now.
Imagine. Oh, excuse me, making the hotkey P.
We are under attack.
What an idiot.
Your command.
I'm going to need much more gas for this war effort, man. Winning with Archons only. Finally, something that isn't clickbait. Oh, I guess that carrier fucked off, huh? I can't believe I actually have to make fucking shuttles. Dude, who designed this layout? Who designed this map? I refuse to believe it was anybody but Metzen. Holy shit, I still have dragoons down here. Epic. You see, that is an excellent use of all of my gas, I promise you. At least they actually do upgrade. I mean, they still don't have fucking leg enhancements, but they upgraded, man. I only have one armor and shield. They're almost fully stacked.
Awaiting instructions. Confirmed. Transmitted. I have returned. Conversion is complete. Your thoughts.
What a mess.
Transmitted. Conversion is complete. We need focus. I have returned.
Imagine this being the gameplay loop. Because if I send any ranged units there, or any units without microing, they are just going to spin, I'm pretty sure. Okay, bye. Fuck that guy, man. Wait. What are they doing? Oh, yeah, I guess it's fine. I just go in another way. Nice Side Storm idiot. Slightly better Side Storm idiot. Oh, stasis. Dude, they have so many arbiters. I don't even want to know. Reasonable game. Reasonable campaign. This AI that has attacked me with 2 hallucinated scouts in the last 20 minutes is my sole opponent.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
That's what I'm talking about. Hallucinated arbiters, classic. Classic. 2,000 health. It's a pretty good amount. Where'd my shuttles go? Did they die? I don't even know what I did to them. I told them to go home. Oh no, they're here. Need a fucking fleet of shuttles, to be honest. Oh shit. Well, the best we can hope for at this point is to not blow our own brains out Degal style. Man, that emoji that Dark Metsa made recently is on point. Holy moly. Actually out of men for once. Or out of shuttle space, I should say.
the enemy.
I'm sure it's not all my shuttles dying. Oh, cool.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy. I have returned. My life for Aiur. Receiving. Awaiting instructions. Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Can't believe they actually killed an Archon. Dude, who made this? What kind of fucking asshole would do this? Great. I mean, you can really tell here at this point that there was no attempt made to release a product that competed for your time.
Transmitted. Esau 2. Honor guide me. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Initiating.
Hello? That's what I thought. Well, we killed a photon cannon. So how's that for lasting impact? Oh. I thought I ordered more shuttles, but I don't know where they went. To be honest, I thought I ordered more men as well. I do not appear to have done as much. Alright, maybe this wave will do it. If not, I got another wave coming. Suppose this map certainly exposes how bad you are at macro, if you're me. I mean, he could just build 12 carriers Dawn style and win that way, but... And I never want to know that that's the case. That I've actually gotten tier 3 of all upgrades. Excuse me. I don't think they can stop that, but certainly can't stop this. What's up, dude?
I expected you to attempt to retrieve your hero. You will learn that the will of the Conclave is absolute. Make peace with Adun.
Stay thy hand.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Stewards of Tassadar shall not fall while the Dark Templar live. Call off your guards and stand aside, and you may yet live to see another moonrise.
I will not be addressed so by one so devoid of the Kala's light. You and your vile brethren shall die with these traitors.
Are you truly so blinded by your vaunted religion that you cannot see the fall ahead of you? Your conclave believes that they are winning this war, but all they have succeeded in doing is helping the Overmind to win.
What could you possibly know about our designs, blasphemer?
You speak of knowledge, Judicator. You speak of experience. I have journeyed through the darkness between the most distant stars. I have beheld the births of negative sounds and borne witness to the entropy of entire realities. Unto my experience, Alderus, all that you have built here on Aiur is but a fleeting dream. A dream from which your precious conclave shall awaken, finding themselves drowned in a greater nightmare.
We shall see.
What a strange fanfiction ending that was. Not only did it encompass a crazy amount of time, not only is the choreography so embarrassing with them spawning units in instead of warping them in. I mean, I think they even go as far as to actually warp units in manually or whatever. Well, not manually, but they trigger it in so that there's like recalls and stuff at locations. The idea that they wouldn't produce, like, at least go to that length. I mean, it's still a weird thing because there's no arbiter in sight, but they just fucking play a warp sound in and create the unit. Like, that's just embarrassing, man. That is really embarrassing. I gotta stress that that's fucking embarrassing. So that's embarrassing. But then they just have they give Zeratul this line where his name in the dialogue gets cut off because they didn't allow for more than 14 lines of text in display text, which is hilarious. They just write some mumbo jumbo, and on negative sense we can assume that means black holes, but and like the, what was it, entropy of entire realities, by the way. Entropy of entire realities. If that were the case, then Zeratul would probably be this, like, one of the most ancient fucking creatures ever to exist, and that's obviously not the case. I think the manual dates him at like 2,000 years or maybe 1,000 years or something. So it's like the idea that he's going to go ahead and say that, I mean, that's just word salad to make you think that he's epic. And when you have no standards, when you're really young, when you're very impressionable, you might have gotten the feeling that, wow, that was really epic, because he said a lot of big words that I didn't understand as a kid. And it just made me think that he was really epic. It made me think that he was really learned and traveled and experienced. But he doesn't demonstrate it. He just tells you that he is. Thanks. Real fucking helpful. You know, you should be showing and not telling, even if you're a grower, not a shower. But that didn't stop Blizzard from whipping it out and smacking you across the forehead with it. And of course, again, this is all happening while the Overmind is invading the planet, or has landed on the planet and is just hanging there. We're fighting Protoss for 2 solid straight missions, while the Overmind, the literal god of the Zerg and master of all the Zerg that exist, while he's there, just chilling on your planet in an area where you know he's there because he was fighting you so that he could land there. So you know where he is, and he's on your planet, and you're fucking doing nothing but twiddling your dick and attacking Tassadar and or Zeratul or whatever the fuck. Like, this whole thing is unbelievable. It just gets thrown out the fucking window by the second or third map in this campaign. You can't believe anything. And I can't believe how grindy that map was, to be honest. I can't believe it almost took us 52 minutes. Or I mean, obviously, I ranted for a while. I can't believe it took us 33 minutes and 30 seconds, because 3. Well, check out my editor review. This triumphant Protoss music will soon turn into a sad, somber choir, as we realize that this one mineral field was assigned to a different mineral, or a different town entirely, which may have led to some issues. Kind of explains why it stayed alive so long, even though I was mining it from the beginning of the game, huh? It's almost like Blizzard should probably test that stuff all the time or something. Everything else seems in order. Weird that apparently they set up shop over here, but I just assumed they had a base somewhere else. But all of their production was over here. I think it would have made more sense for them to have a base a little bit closer, and then allow the like that they would build defenses, or maybe they would start with a couple cannons or something at most, or they would build more defenses and station more units around it. And maybe you would even have a dedicated AI. Like, Red is meant to be like the AI that covers that. So maybe you could have that be the opening prerogative of the Red AI. So he activates a little bit less early. And meanwhile, the Purple AI quickly expands to maybe the player's natural to try to box them in or something. And then you could have like a sort of a different approach depending on what happens, how the early game goes, where you'd have like Purple having maybe this base, or obviously the map would have to be bigger so it could account for more expansions and stuff. But Purple could have a base and try to take the player's natural in the early game. And if the player was unsuccessful in defending it, and if Purple was successful in taking that natural and holding it, then maybe Red sort of abandons some of their posts and sends a lot of their reinforcements over to try to 1-2 punch the player out of the map. And it's like, you got to be on the ball here. And it's an actual 1v2 where both AI are actually trying to beat you instead of spawning hallucinated fucking scouts and attacking you with those. So that would definitely help. That would go a long way, I think, to, well, to doing something, to providing some sort of challenge and engagement on behalf of the player. It would still kind of be unfair because it's literally 2 AI, but I feel like that would be better than this, which was just a grind. I should also point out, this is spiteful as far as I'm concerned. Anytime you place the starting structure of a player or an AI away from where it should be placed, I mean, this should have been placed here. But I can't even place it there because there's a pylon in the way. So I'd have to destroy my own pylon in order to place it there. I didn't even try, but I would have had to do that if I wanted it to be more optimal. That's just embarrassing. Obviously, the other big eyesore is the fact that we can't get across this chasm by land. So there's actually not much of a reason to even take this base, besides using it as a staging ground for either air units or transports. And that's what I ended up doing. You know, you take it for the money, but you don't take it for the strategic impact, or the import, I should say, the strategic importance. It is not an area that justifies its existence in that sense. So that's pretty embarrassing. And otherwise, I mean, obviously the AI never takes the space. We would never bother taking that base. I didn't even know it existed, to be honest. I assumed that there was a base in here, but as we see, that is not the case. And then a lot of this map is actually consumed by water, which leaves you with this feeling, like they could have put an island base over here or something. It leaves you with this feeling that they just didn't bother trying to make the most of the map size that they had. And actually, this map could have been functionally identical, but smaller, if they had played their cards a little bit better with the map size itself. It leads to a feeling of meanderingness, where you're running down a straight fucking line, or some sort of really long corridor, getting pelted by pre-placed photon cannons all the way there. And obviously that's not what you want. That's not the kind of gameplay loop I'm looking for in an RTS. So that is my main critique, if you will, of this misery. So I suppose we should get back to it. Here we go. Shadow Hunters. Kratos command ship Gantrathor. Low orbit over the planet Aiur.
And my gratitude to you for having secured my release knows no bounds. By all the gods, we may win yet. The time has come to let loose the fury of the Dark Templar. Zeratul, perhaps the time has come to tell our friends of the foe we face.
Indeed. When I slew the Cerebrit on Char, I touched briefly with the essence of the Overmind. In that instant, my mind was filled with its thoughts. And I tell you now, our worst fears have come true. The Zerg were indeed created by the ancient Xel'Naga, the same beings that empowered us in our infancy. But the Overmind grew beyond their constraints, and has at last come to finish the experiments they began so long ago.
So you see, my friends, we fight not only to save Aiur, but all creation. If we fall to the Zerg, then the Overmind will run rampant throughout the stars, consuming all sentience, all life. It is up to us to put an end to this madness, once and for all.
Our forces shall engage the primary Zerg hive clusters in an attempt to weaken their defenses. Once their numbers have thinned out, Zeratul and his companions can infiltrate the clusters and assassinate the Cerebrits. Adun willing, the Cerebrits' deaths will distract the Overmind long enough for us to assault it directly.
All right, well, at least Phoenix is giving us information related to an actual battle plan, though as you'll find out, it has no bearing on the mission itself, because we're just going to be moving through a bunch of pre-placed shit as per usual. But I should mention that Tassadar's first line is so horribly written. He says, "The time has come," in the same line twice. If only it were three, right? On top of it, the idea that he'd be withholding information that is apparently supposed to be some sort of revelation for us is pretty scummy, and again, breaks trust in some capacity when we've done so much to help him. The bigger issue, before I jump into the whole Xel'Naga stuff, is that Tassadar was the one who willingly entered into these bonds of being in a stasis chamber in the first place. That was Tassadar deciding, I'm going to be in here. I'm going to submit myself to this. And then, I guess he's expecting us to go and save him, so that's why he says thanks. Now we can go on with what we were meant to be doing. That was like a filler anime arc or something from Naruto. That wasn't anything that was meant to be an actual mission. That had no bearing on the actual campaign. It was literally just there so we could fight some Protoss in the Protoss campaign. It otherwise had no fucking purpose whatsoever. And I think that really underscores it. That line where Tassadar's like, now we can go back to doing what we were meant to be doing here this entire time. Now we might just win. So that's really where I take the most umbrage with this, because that is just so disrespectful to the player. The idea that the end of the 7th mission and the entirety of the 8th mission are only purposeful when you don't realize that they were just there to distract you and add runtime to the campaign. So that's really embarrassing. Tassadar himself, of course, also mentions that according to what Zeratul info dump expositions us, that of course Tassadar says this is like apparently this galaxy ending or universe ending thing that all life will be consumed by the Overmind. I don't know where he gets that from. That's not something that I feel like is a logical conclusion per se from what Zeratul said. It seems like he's really reading into it, editorializing it, and then putting that spin on it and telling us it so that we think it and we don't think about what it might actually mean instead or what it otherwise could mean. We don't come up with a different interpretation, which goes back to what Phoenix said in the 7th missions briefing about, or the 8th missions briefing that I just talked about before, about how, you know, it's telling the player stuff instead of allowing them to read into it and pay attention and see what they think. Because what we think doesn't matter. It's really just about whatever fucking asshole the scriptwriters want to, I guess, pull out at that point. So the main criticism I have of this approach is that Tassadar is now demanding that the stakes be raised to something that could potentially end all life in the known universe. And that's ridiculous. That is patently absurd. And that is not something that you really want to be paying attention to in any capacity. That is not something that you want anybody to be thinking about while they're playing a fucking RTS mission, unless it's warranted. Like, you have got to earn that scale. And StarCraft has not earned that scale. It hasn't even come close. We don't even know if the Zerg are a real threat to the planet, let alone the entire universe. And you can say that, okay, it's postulated that maybe if they succeed here and merge the Zerg with the Protoss, we're going to be getting to a position where they might potentially pose a threat that is far greater than what we've seen before. But to put a name on it, to put a scale attached to it and say it's going to end all life in the galaxy or universe or whatever, is so patently ridiculous that you just have to roll your eyes at it, like you've been rolling your eyes this entire time with everything else. And that, I guess, is really the end of my initial rant here. I really don't think that it was important for Zeratul to exposition this stuff to begin with, because as far as I'm concerned, this is the kind of shit that has no bearing on the gameplay, that doesn't influence us as players at all. It's just lore. And we didn't sign up to play a video game for just lore. We want an experience. We want something where the lore, the plot, or the backstory, or whatever, can be organically explored by way of playing the game and analyzing and thinking about critically the thematics and the stuff that is represented to us through the audio-visual interactive experience. That is what a video game actually is. That is what we signed up to play a game for. People have forgotten about that. Non-gamers have come into the space and said, actually, I just want a cutscene for literally anything because that makes me more immersed. People have forgotten what the fuck video games are actually meant to be, or they never knew to begin with. That's what games are supposed to be. An interactive audio-visual experience. And you don't get all of your important plot points and story out in the way of cutscenes and briefings. That's the stupidest way to do it in a video game, because we're gonna go one in one ear, out the other, not gonna fucking remember anything, especially when it's as absurdly presented in this case as what happened in this briefing and what has happened in other briefings. We're not gonna retain any of that information. It's all gonna go in one ear and out the other. Like I said, there's nothing there for us to latch onto, because we didn't do anything. We didn't earn this. We didn't fucking earn this briefing. We slogged through a bunch of pre-play shit, and then there was some dialogue at the end and some embarrassingly spawned in units, and now this. There's no reward for winning the map by way of intelligently written dialogue, and there's no reward intrinsic to the gameplay experience itself because the maps are so terrible. So whence cometh the justification for exposition info dumping us a bunch of information that ultimately is not even important to the gameplay and bears like no importance, has no meaning, and no impact at all? None of this stuff makes any sense. None of this stuff is really meant to be there anyway. It's just, again, it feels like you're just being time wasted away. That's what's happening. You're just having your time wasted. You've paid money for this product to have your time wasted. Thanks. Use Zeratul to destroy the Zerg Cerebrits. Zeratul and Phoenix must survive. And I don't even get a base. XD. This mission is purely so that, well, at least the starting army is purely so that I can check out my fucking Arbiter and see what they do. But the cloaking field is not like a passive icon on them or anything, so
You address me. It will be done to us.
I guess I should scout out with uncloaked units. Since we have 1,000 gas, I don't think I need to worry about taking a base over there. But I will go ahead and move this probe elsewhere. To the right. Take the other base that's over there. This might even be closer to the gas, but maybe not. No, never mind. The gas is down here. This is another area where the resource placement is actively toxic and spiteful to you. So, I guess we'll poke around. We don't have recall or stasis, so pretty much only useful for cloaking our units in the early game.
Feel your presence. We are vigilant.
If you can believe it, there's pre-placed stuff here. That's pretty cool. I appear to have underestimated the amount of starting units that I had.
We feel your presence.
Executor, immediately. For Aiur.
To us.
Executor, immediately.
We are vigilant.
Oh, interestingly enough, my portrait appears to be Phoenix now. I don't know if that's a hard-coded thing. I thought that was a Brood War thing, but maybe they decided to make it that for, because Aldaris is no longer an ally or something. I don't know.
Executor,
To us.
Oh, thanks.
what would you ask of me?
Mischance, by the way.
Nakbagala. For Aiur. Your command? What would you ask of
We
me?
are vigilant.
Executor. Your command?
We feel your presence.
Executor. Immediately.
What is happening? Whoa! Nice to fire there, dude. Oh yeah, Zeratul is still over here somewhere, right? I have him over here.
What would you ask of me? Executor.
Hello? Okay, Phoenix has the upgrade by default, so he should definitely be able to attack the fucking colony. Jesus Christ. So confusing. Alright. I think we'll just put most of our gateways on that side for now. All the pre-placed shit is pretty incredible, to be honest, but... Oh, okay. Owned by a single fucking area nut.
What would you ask of me? Immediately. Immediately.
Dude, how? It had no fucking health. There we go, finally. Oh shit. See a nerd?
As you will.
Nice amount of Hydras and Ultras, by the way. Anyway, as you can see, I have shit fucking micro macro capabilities here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hang my head in shame. Or perhaps hang myself in shame. Attack had 1 Mutalisk, by the way.
Additional pylons.
Wait, I think I don't have enough space to build it at maximum efficiency here. That's not dangerous at all. Sure they won't put some mutas up there.
Thus I serve. Your orders, Templar.
Okay. So, red is potentially the more annoying one in the early game. I honestly don't know that much about this map. Pretty pointless one, in my opinion. But he's clearly got a huge number of ultras. Red is the quote-unquote primary hive cluster. That information is never told to you, but that's the guy, more or less. So. Go ahead and nab a cannon over here. And then goon range next. And I guess we're gonna need another base pretty soon. This is one of those cases where the lack of longevity and the expansions is going to hurt. And then obviously the fact that I have to build individual fucking nexuses for each geyser that I want is pretty bad too. So I'll do one more probe over there, I think, and that should be it. Actually, slap down another gateway over there. I don't know how to path between gateways, even though I know I can do it. There we go. Yeah, I'm really not an expert in that at all. I don't know why that happens, but if I can fix it for my shit, I definitely will be. There's Brown with his epic attack. And his classic having plague of research at the beginning of the game. And it being allowed to be cast on heroes. Imagine ensnaring an Arbiter. Don't worry, Phoenix will slowly return, Homo. Not a fucking moment too soon, apparently. Alright, dude. Fucking idiot Arbiter. Guess I'll save the spam carrier mission for much later, huh? I don't know how you managed to pop out over there, but however you did that, that's impressive.
Upgrade complete. Not enough minerals.
I guess I'll just move this clown back here.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Thanks. Not annoying at all. Dude, how is he still alive? What a piece of shit. Yeah, pre-placed AI spellcasters, by the way. Not toxic, by the way. We'll just go for ground armor here. Red also controls all the bases that we might expand to, so it's gonna be pretty dicey to get anywhere with that. I will get some Archons in the meantime. Like, on the bright side, even though I've got a bunch of plagued units, like a Mongoloid, I should be capable of using all of the pre-placed Sunkens that I killed earlier. I should be able to make some progress against him. I don't know if this is his primary base or what, but... Hello? There is a man down there. Yeah, don't mind that guy, dude. Yeah, gotta make an observer. Observatory. Yeah, as expected, he's got a billion fucking reinforcements coming. Just get more zealots. And we do have +1, which means that we should be set for a little bit, but I don't think Storm is really going to help me here. We'll get an observer now. Path that over here. Alright, well, he spent his energy doing that, so that's something. Thanks. Very helpful. Anyway, I'll go ahead and finally decide take that base. Wait. I want to make sure I'm placing it out of school there. Yeah, I really don't have much mineral longevity. I guess in this left side base I do, but... Oh, that's the case where this happens. For some reason they appear over there. Alright, well... I like how he just sits there waiting patiently to be evacuated. He's a polite man. Infinite plagues, I mean, ensnares. I figured broodlings weren't far behind. You can see their corpses, so you know that they're there. You rarely see them in action, but you always notice their corpses. Now, the thing is, once you exhaust the pre-placed armadas of all of these AIs, you'll notice that they are much less scary as a result of the fact that they are very inefficient at building units, right? So, I really can't even begin to fathom what the fuck is going on with some of these things. Executed. That was a tight play, man. That was what we call epic. Now that Archon must be putting in some work. Alright, I guess I'm just fucking killing this gateway since it's completely useless to me. What a mess. At this point, it's got way too many units. Way too much money's worth of units stuck behind there. What the fuck? Dude, that man just glitched through my man. Oh, okay. This is how we're playing this? Alright, fuck you, dude. I'm killing your hive. More like Bive. Holy Ultralisk, dude. Well, I guess I'm not killing your hive. Holy shit, dude. They built like 6 or 7 Ultras there. It's gonna be a while before I have the equipment to deal with that. Destroyed with a minimal amount of micro, TBH.
My life for Aiur. Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
Alright, they're slowly shuffling their fucking ultras around the map, so pretty soon we'll no longer have to deal with them. Hi. Alright, let's fuck him up, dude. The second gas there will be pretty important. Or additional Templar. There you go. Nice 3 mineral fields, by the way. Because of course. Only an ensnared Dragoon would ever be at risk of dying to broodlings. Unfortunately for them... Oh, only an ensnared Dragoon underneath Dark Swarm would ever be at risk of dying to broodlings. Thankfully, my rally point conveniently cuts off any reinforcement.
Your warriors have engaged the combat.
Amazing. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Have fun. Wait, what? Whitey? Wait, what? I thought Red had a base to the right. I guess not, huh? Excuse you. Well, I guess I'll just keep attacking up then. That might be his last drone, dude. He didn't listen to Daggeth. Actually, I thought Red was Daggeth. Daggeth didn't listen to himself, dude.
You have not enough minerals.
Well, maybe I don't actually need any money anyway. Okay, how many times do I have not enough minerals, man? Come on, be reasonable here. Nice ensnare. Even better ensnare. Oh, at least she died. Also, Zertil doesn't have to get the kill, he just has to be in the area. To that end, I would like to remember where the fuck I put him. I guess he's here? This actually reminds me, I played a Shambler map where... Oh, okay. I played a Shambler map where the, there was like a unit that had to live, and he was not tagged as heroic, so the AI just broodlinged him, and I lost. That was pretty epic. Just letting you know, man, I remember you. Fuck him up. As you can see, he didn't even get the kill there. It was like a zealot, but I thought they were going to deactivate, but I guess not, huh? I'll just kill this and it should be mostly taken care of. I just need to make sure that they don't keep sending more fucking Mongoloids at me. Oh, shuttle was cloaked, so I didn't see it there. Oh, my ensnare. Fun fact, given even upgrades, it takes 3 Dragoon hits to kill a Zergle. I might be for it without any upgrades, actually. Would you guys stop sucking dick at a spore colony? Alright, now I'll go back to it. It's only not allowed when your friends are dying to fucking... Fuck them up! I'm sure it'll be fine. See you, nerd. Well, I guess red was completely inconsequential then, and I should have just focused all of my early money on killing the Cerebrits and running down the middle like a lunatic. Pretty, I guess it's pretty classic for Blizzard to just have entire AIs be inconsequential despite all their pre-placed bullshit. So now it's time to take a look at that map. Get a load of this. So this is what you start out with. Obviously pretty despicable. This is despicable and spiteful. And yeah, you know. Pre-placed Guardians. Oh, he did have another base. I just thought he didn't because of all the, like, the pre-placed Guardians threw me off there, man. Hey, at least there's a hatchery over here. Though these spore colonies would never be... Nice. Fucking nice. I can't believe there's actually 3 mineral fields over there. Oh, yeah, if you want to take this area that you need a shuttle to get up to, you get a geyser for your troubles. At least this is somewhat worth it. Though, let's just go ahead and hazard a guess. Oh, you can build a nexus over there. Ruins don't completely block it. Pretty ridiculous stuff, man. Unbelievable shit. What the fuck? Oh, my brain. Well, the island, or sorry, island implies sort of like a actual water and stuff. What I mean by island is like you have to use a transport to reach it. So the landlocked, or I'll just continue to refer to them as islands, I suppose. I can't come up with a better name off the top of my head. But the island areas over here are really not that useful or impactful. It's completely fucking worthless as far as I'm concerned. Minerals are somewhat worthwhile if you wanted to take them, but you still got to slog through a bunch of pre-placed shit and anger red. And be pretty close to his Overlord patrol paths as well, even once you clear this whole plateau. So you'd probably have to clear this base, which admittedly wouldn't be as difficult as clearing their main, I guess. But do they start out with an Ultralisk Cavern? They must get the Ultralisk Cavern later, because I don't see it's pre-placed for them. They do start out with a Greater Spire, of course. They have a bunch of Ultras pre-placed, so it's almost like it doesn't even matter that they don't have that cavern pre-placed, whereas obviously everything else is pre-placed for these guys. But it is worth noting that they decided to do that. Blizzard doesn't even seem to modify the behavior of the AI once their Cerebrit dies. I'm not speaking authoritatively on that because we didn't play enough to figure that out. I think it's fine for the Cerebrits to actually still be able to, like, once the Cerebrits are actually destroyed, I still think it's fine for the Brood to act as that Cerebrit would have last commanded them, to evoke the personality of the Cerebrate, despite the death of the Cerebrate, they just wouldn't be able to adapt as frequently or at all, potentially. So they would be mindless in that sense, but still have enough character associated with the main Cerebrate, like the Cerebrate that once controlled them. Probably talked about this in the culling mission. The idea that your enemy is brain dead is not very interesting, right? So to that end, it's actually good that the Zerg player didn't just get defeated once they lost the Cerebrate. I think it's perfectly reasonable for that to be the case. But for the, like, both Cerebrates to be destroyed to then just end you in victory wordlessly feels really stupid. And also, Cerebrates are shown to be talkative. They don't directly speak to their enemies, unlike Kerrigan and other anime characters. But I think some communication, or at least some sound effects of the Cerebrates maybe trying to, like, summon assistance or being somewhat panicked in some capacity, especially the second one after we kill the first. I think that would have gone a little bit of the way towards establishing some sort of mood or thematic. There's not much to say about the layout itself because it's pretty cancerous. You can't actually find your way up anywhere besides transports and look at all the pre-placed shit. So they clearly wanted you to take the ground paths. It's not quite as toxic as it could have been. It could have been way more toxic with a bunch of pre-placed sunkens or whatever on the ridge. But it's still quite annoying to have most of the map locked away from you and to have all of this spiteful fucking resource placement. Like, this is malicious as far as I'm concerned. They just wanted to tell you to go fuck yourself. And that's just not what I'm into, man. I don't like developers telling me to go fuck myself. I'm trying to play their content, after all. And so that is Shadow Hunters for you. Big fucking whoop-de-doo, huh? All right. Continuing on. Eye of the Storm. Protoss Command Ship Gantrathor. Low orbit over the planet Aiur.
Executor, our plan worked perfectly. The Zerg defenses are broken, and the way to the Overmind is laid bare. The time for our stand has come.
Indeed. My friends, this is our final hour. Not all of us may survive the coming conflict. Yet, death may be a blessing should we fail here. We seek now to destroy a foe that has ravaged its way across the universe, consuming all in its path. And now, it has reached the end of its long journey. The Overmind has come to destroy all that we hold dear and assimilate us into itself. And I say to thee, this shall not come to pass. Aiur shall not fall. Executor, I stand ready.
As do I.
Well, I guess all I have left is to see this through. The Zerg have taken everything from me. My home, my family, my friends. I know that nothing I do can bring those things back. But I'll be damned if I just sit on my hands and wait for the end. I want a piece of them, all right. I'm in.
Then let our actions speak for us. For Adun. For Aiur.
Wow. So remember that before we start this mission, this is, of course, the final mission of the entire vanilla campaign. When Starcraft released in 1998, early 1998, this was the last mission until Brood War was released. This is the final map. This is what is supposed to end the whole shebang, tie it all together, make you feel like there was some point to all of it. Well, I'm not going to spoil my future thoughts and future rants. That'll be for the end of the video. But suffice it to say, Blizzard's job, as always, leaves a lot to be desired. That being said, this is a relatively concise briefing compared to the others. I still feel like maybe it would have been a bit more sensible if Tassadar had somehow, his dialogue had somehow reflected what we actually experienced, because up until this point, it has been an utter fucking devastation of the Zerg, including our enemy Protoss. Honestly, like everything, everybody who has aligned themselves against us has been utterly destroyed by us at every single turn, even when the odds were stacked against us in ridiculous ways. So the idea that this would be a map where somehow the events of this mission are supposed to be our final hour doesn't make any sense. And of course, Tassadar's discussion of his ending transmission for this entire project provides you with some understanding that Blizzard didn't give a fuck what you did. They don't care about your agency or your choices. They're always going to write in whatever ending they want to ass pull. In fact, they just got a little bit better with StarCraft 2 when it comes to actually forcing that in a little bit more, shall we say, seamlessly is a wrong word, but less seamful than StarCraft 1 and some of the other projects where some shit just is slapstick depending on how well you perform in the missions. I've talked about this in a by design video about difficulty specifically, but the story ramifications, the experience that we actually have in the missions, they're never respected in any of these games. Now, if there's a mission where somebody says, wow, that was easy and it was really hard for you, that immersion has been broken. And obviously the antithesis of that, the flip side of that, has been what's happening during this entire playthrough, where every mission has been grindy, but not challenging in any capacity. And whenever there's a mission that somebody references as being in dire straits or challenging in some way, or holy shit, I can't believe that these enemies are this good, it's just laughable because they're not. That dialogue is not grounded in reality. Any dialogue referencing competent enemies is simply not true. It's just a lie. And that's been our experience when playing through the campaign. And that's, I would argue, most skilled RTS players will go through this campaign and they will have a very similar experience to what I had. So figured that just deserved some more mention because it's something that needs to be slammed home at every single fucking turn. Because none of these missions handle these concepts very well, and all of them are flawed as a result of this. Destroy the Overmind. Tassadar, Raynor, and Zeratul must survive. Yeah, notably Phoenix, even though he's in the briefing here, is just not in the mission for some reason.
Executor.
Go fuck yourself.
This comes too late to you, but the Conclave has witnessed your defeat of the Cerebrate. They know now that they cannot deny the necessity or the valiancy of your actions.
Good job.
We sought to punish you, while it was we who were in error. You represent what is greatest in us all, and all our hopes go with you. Entaro Adun, brave sons of Aiur.
Wow.
Nice interview.
Does that mean they're gonna send
Very
some
helpful.
backup for
Trying to
us?
macro over here.
SCV good to go, sir.
So yeah, we got Raynor's base. He should have just been an AI ally, but I don't think you ever get an AI ally in this campaign, honestly. Was there ever an AI ally? Kind of blends together for me, but... I usually do a tank push in this map. Again, speaking as if I've played the campaign a bunch of times, I really haven't. I think the last time I did a tank push, when I did my embarrassing micro-apologist playthrough.
SCV good to go, sir.
Notably,
Want to turn up the heat? Let's burn.
Give me some of this shoot. Let's burn. Give me some
yeah, Ahmed, let's burn.
Want to turn up the
good to
heat?
go, sir. Affirmative. Give me some of this shoot. Orders, Captain?
But yeah, notably, there's not a whole lot that
Sir.
we have to mine from over here. It's the double gas treatment that we get. And Raynor's the one with all the minerals. Suppose it's a fine duality, but managing two bases and two races, most notably from the beginning of the game, especially since they're completely on opposite ends of each other, feels pretty shitty. I would have much rathered it being be a bit more reasonable.
Go, sir. Job finished.
So this time, I think we will go ahead and just grab a gateway. And we are going to finally do the mass carrier strat. We'll witness the hordes of fucking Scourge that show up. Mass Battlecruiser is pretty much better in every way than mass carrier. But particularly when you're dealing with AI in this sense.
SCV good to go, sir.
I hear you.
SCV good to go, sir.
Trying to see... I think I still need one more probe on there for maximum efficiency. But thankfully I have the moolah for a cybernetics core immediately.
Good to go, sir. Yes, sir.
I guess I'll throw down another one, honestly, because I am going to need the extra upgrade speed. Now remember, final boss, final mission. It's the Overmind. Should definitely expect a challenge in this map.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty. Right away, sir.
Will we get one? Well, like I said, don't want to spoil anything, but
Good to go, sir.
attack had 3 Zergling as the first actual attack, so.
Of course. For Adun. You've not enough minerals.
I read you.
I think there is a base to the north that I'll probably end up taking. I could also go scouts. They are surprisingly deadly when masked. You just don't normally have the money to mask them up.
SCV good to go,
Not
sir.
enough minerals.
Affirmative.
But yeah, as you can see, we're mostly just using the Terrans as
Orders, Captain? Right away, sir. SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
miners. Not the Epstein kind either.
You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals.
SCV good to go, sir. Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
I'll get a starport and a couple wraiths to deal with guardians. I think that's pretty much the only threat that we're not very well equipped to deal with here. What's up, motherfucker? How you like my Ahmed, dude?
I read you.
Grab an academy for range. Dude, check out my Stargate army. Oh yeah, we can get so many more minerals. So many more men on minerals.
I read you. Orders received. Affirmative.
And I'm not worried at all about floating money, considering what I'm going to be building.
SCV good to go, sir.
You have not enough minerals.
I read you.
But yeah, we definitely need some more resources. I'll go ahead and scout out. There's a couple of embarrassing expansions in this map.
SCV good to go, sir.
You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals.
You have not enough minerals.
Job's finished. Job's finished. Reporting for duty. I can't build there. Affirmative.
Fire now.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty. Affirmative.
You have not enough
Job's
minerals.
finished. Orders, Captain.
Upgrade complete. Your warriors engage.
What's up, motherfucker? So there's a base that we can take.
SCV good to go, sir. Reporting for duty.
See, when you scout, you kind of see a lot of stuff. Makes you think that maybe something's going on.
Complete.
But no, not really.
Standing by. Yes, sir.
Upgrade complete.
Affirmative. Orders received.
Add-ons complete.
Affirmative. Right away, sir. Standing by.
You have not enough minerals.
You want a piece of me, boy? Reporting for duty. Job's finished. Checked up. Reporting for duty.
Alright, we should have plenty of,
Upgrade complete.
Waiting.
oh yeah, this is the embarrassing gas expo. There's like 2 or 3 geysers or something.
You have not enough minerals. Instructions. Carrier has arrived.
Add-on complete.
Standing by.
Yes. You got my attention. Naturally.
Orders, Captain.
Alright. Well,
You must construct additional pilots.
classic move. El Classico, emphasis on the L. Guess I'll spend my money on interceptors instead. Also a classical. move. It's okay, we got him. Oh yeah, notably the Gantrothor doesn't have custom interceptors. He does the same damage as all the other carriers. You know, he's supposed to be a hero in that, but it's alright. Who needs your hero to do anything different than your regular units anyway? I mean, they are just copy-pastes of the regular unit IDs or unit identities or whatever.
Carrier has arrived. Commencing. Your class.
Go ahead and grab another Wraith. Again, just for safety at this point. Not worried about much else.
Orders, Captain?
Instructions.
Now remember, each interceptor being 25 means 8 times 25, that's 200 minerals on top of the 350 for a carrier. So you're actually, if you want to get a carrier, and you want it to be at full strength, you need to spend 550 minerals. Now compare this to 400 minerals, 300 gas for a battlecruiser, slightly more upfront cost, way more sensible when it comes to the actual combat efficacy, not nearly as much action economy overhead.
Instructions. Not enough minerals. Instructions. Yes, exactly. Upgrade complete. Instructions. How may I help?
We won't be bringing him with us, naturally.
Carrier has arrived. Upgrade complete.
Oh, I was certain that there was going to be some fucking burrowed Hydra over here or something. Nice structure, by the way, or ruins rather. We'll transfer our probes over there once the base is done.
You have not enough minerals. Go ahead. Affirmative. You have not enough.
We probably only needed 1 dozen, but you know.
Instructions. Carrier has arrived.
We're getting up to that count at this point.
We are under attack. This should be good.
It's alright. No problems over here, man.
Reporting for duty. Roger that. Orders received. Standing by. Roger.
You have not enough minerals. I hear you.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to get air armor.
Not enough minerals.
Orders, Captain?
Upgrade complete. You have not enough minerals.
I remember where I slapped my fucking. Wait, what? I don't know what the fuck is going on, but something fucky is going down. I don't really need gas right now.
Instructions. Your command.
Grab tier 4 shields, or tier 3 shields rather.
You have not enough minerals.
Standing by. Go, go, go. Reporting for duty. Affirmative. Reporting in.
Anytime you're ready. This should be good. Instructions. Commencing.
Suppose we can mass up underneath this base. Red one over there.
You have not enough minerals.
I'm sure this base will be safe with a single
Anytime you're ready. Roger
Photon cannon. And yeah, all we have to do is kill the Overmind itself, the structure. Which again, this will be the first time we actually see the Overmind in game. Oh, okay. Yeah, I expected that much. It's not very surprising. We don't have access to Corsairs, so not much we can do there. Now, thankfully, while the ensnare obviously affects the carriers themselves, no worry on the interceptors. While they will get ensnared, as you can see here, as soon as they return to the carrier, they get cleansed. And again, you can see I'm banking 1,000,000 resources now because I'm doing my best to micro here. There we go. What's up, Scourge? Look at all those pre-play Scourge, man. Give me more. I need more pre-play Scourge, baby. Oh, yeah. There we go. All right, one squad down. Go ahead and just build some more. Oh, now I need more gas, I guess. Oh, meanwhile, I got attacked. I don't even know. I don't think purple even attacks. Maybe, I mean, I could be completely wrong, and maybe he was the one who just attacked me and did all this damage to the Terran stuff, but I'm gonna go ahead and doubt that particular claim. I've never seen him do anything of value.
I can't build there. You want a piece of me, boy? Go, go, go.
So again, we're not really that interested in killing red. We got rid of the static defense that was in our way. I don't think that they will be reproducing all of the... Oh, there you go. Color me surprised. Purple actually attacks. That's pretty shocking, to be honest.
I read you. Roger that.
You require more Vespine gas.
You want a piece of me, boy?
You require more Vespine gas. You require more Vespine gas.
I guess I'll take that base just because. Wait for him to start scouting out the area on top, because then I know he's actually free of the Mongols. Scariest thing ever is when you scout Hydra Stargates, Hydra Protoss AI, while they're doing their thing, and you see like carriers and shit pop out of the Stargate, and the Stargate is still blinking after. You're like, bye. Goodbye, life. Of course, I've got to build defenses back here because this is where the Mongols are hanging. All right. See a single red dot somewhere.
Go ahead, Commander. Hand it back.
Order scout? Affirmative.
We are under attack.
Go ahead, Commander. Oh, yeah. Right on. Oh, yeah.
You obviously don't need to worry about the legions of pre-placed Scourge when dealing with
You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals. We are are under attack.
Affirmative. Orders received.
Carrier has arrived. Instructions. Not enough minerals.
When dealing with the tank push strat, or when doing the tank push strat, I should say.
Instructions. Not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals. You have not enough minerals.
I know, I've got not enough minerals, I'm sorry. I didn't ask to be poor.
Instructions.
So what do you guys think? I know you're watching this after I'm recorded it, so it's not live, so it doesn't really matter what you guys think. But I think I win this one. Just wait for these interceptors to finish. Mr. Spend Money to Make Money is now in the house. I'll probably need some more pylons after this. Alright, let's go. Let's go! Gotta hype myself up for this one, man. It's so epic. Fighting against pre-placed legions. Holy Hydras. Oh yeah, thanks. Holy shit! What the fuck? Can't tell that this carrier is ensnared, by the way. Dude, what? How? Who authorized the use of brain emitters? Hi. How's it going? Dude, holy shit, look at the Hydras! No, don't shoot your own cannon, idiot. What are you, Veek? How embarrassing. You're gonna be out of sync. Holy shit, they're still attacking. I mean, they're not attacking. We all know they're not attacking. They're defending, is what they're doing. Defending my base. Hockey for interceptor is I, by the way. As in, I can't believe how many fucking Hydras there are over here. I will now enjoy them walking into my base again. Classic move. Did I mine out over here? Oh, I did. Alright, well, I have to win with this. Or I'm signing up for even more pain and suffering. Dude, the unlimited number of Hydras, man. It's actually insane. Dude, holy Scourge, man! What the fuck? Where did these all come from? They're still coming! Holy shit, man. I just got destroyed by an endless wave of Hydras and Scourge trying to use the flagship Protoss unit to defeat my flagship Protoss enemy, the Zerg. There's literally not a single fucking thing I can do about that one with this build, man. Holy moly. They're still trying to chase me down. Alright, boys, new tactic. Take a bit of a more reasonable approach here. Pick off the outer-lying bases, decide this video is going to go on for another 10 hours. I don't know why sometimes they just decide, fuck it, we don't need to follow the attack order. Endless fucking hydras. Endless. They haven't mined a single fucking resource. Oh yeah, there you go. This is a fucking troll map. Designed by fucking trolls. Well.
Can I read you? Affirmative. Can I read you? Orders received. Can I read you? Orders, Captain?
I can't believe this. I can't believe it's happened. I mean, I can't believe it, let's be real. What did I think was gonna happen, huh? I thought I was gonna use fucking... Carriers. Carrier has departed. That's what carrier has done, not arrived. Fucking departed. See you later, dude.
Yes, sir. I can't build there. Can I read you? Reporting for duty. Orders received. Orders, Captain? I can't read you.
Try again, buddy.
Ready to roll for duty. Can I read you? Roger that.
Wow. Wow. Well, we'll keep these in our back pocket since they're well upgraded. I should still be able to pick this fucking hive off with them. Do I need to micro that? No. Like, look, the fucking legions of units that they've decided to employ against my measly fucking carriers here are so ridiculous in nature, in number. Meanwhile, they attack me with like 2 mutas. Purple attacked me with 4 mutas. And between that is 3, so... Just dance over here for a while. There we go. Well, if only I'd killed any of those fucking units with my attack move command, things might have been a little different there. Oh no, a couple hydras. Don't worry, that's not part of their attack force. Okay, it was destined that I would only have 3 carriers.
Reporting for duty. Orders, Captain? Affirmative. Can I read you?
Instructions.
Epic. Of course. Why would it be anything else? Oh.
Add-on complete.
Forgot I even had that, to be honest. Thanks.
Job finished. Can I read you? Reporting for duty. I can't build there. Job finished.
I could just double nuke it, I guess. Ion cannon style.
Affirmative. Can I read you?
You want a piece of meat, boy?
Give me something to shoot.
Online.
Reporting for duty. Ready to roll out. Job finished.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Add-on complete.
Yes, sir.
Add-on complete. Add-on complete.
Go ahead, TACOM.
Oh yeah, I forgot to rally these guys.
Online. You want a piece of me, boy?
Yes, sir.
Goliath online.
Destination, absolutely.
Well, obviously we're gonna need to wait a little bit for our upgrades to kick in here, but this will be the tried and true way to win this one.
Wait, sir. Orders received.
Although I might be able to win just through sheer numbers, given the amount of units I'm able to slam out here, but sadly I don't believe there's any other mineral expansion that I can take within reason.
Instructions.
It may have rebuilt the hatchery over here, I don't know, with their town requests. Yeah. Problem is, good luck finding every overlord that was assigned to this fucking base. Especially if they request overlords as a request from the town.
Warriors have engaged the enemy.
Oh my god. Even my dog doesn't like this map. You guys might not have even been able to hear the dog barking in the background, in which case that was very confusing.
Upgrade complete.
I'm sure purple won't ever start to send more legions of Scourge at me. I killed a single purple Hydralisk. You know what that means? Yep, here they come. Surprisingly, they only killed a single carrier. I really need to kill this. I kill this, and they should stop rebuilding the town. Wow. Dude, I have so many thumbnail selections for this video.
Instructions.
Oh boy. Well, just at 1-1, I might still be able to do some damage over here, so I say we just go for it, man. Wait, what? What did I just do? No! Go back to mining.
Instructions.
Warriors have engaged the enemy.
Orders, Temple.
I'm sure they won't send another one.
Yes, sir. Proceeding. Yes, sir.
Some motherfucker. Dude, even he's got pitiful upgrades. Let's go. Scourge this, baby! Ultralisk this, baby! Jesus Christ, it's always something. Yeah, there goes that dream. I think I killed maybe 5 units. I don't even... What the fuck do I even do besides create a line of tanks? Like, the sheer number of defenders, while the AI does fucking nothing, is really impressive. How fucking toxic this experience is to players who are actually trying to do something. Oh yeah, I need to get T-pose. Hey, that means I was at even... I have an even larger army than I just suicided, so... I remaxed pretty quickly, thankfully. Yeah, reasonable amount of fucking salvos of Goliath missiles to do nothing.
Additional supply depots required.
Orders, Captain. Job finished. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Ready to roll out. Ready to roll out. Delighted to, sir.
Jesus Christ. Dude, really? Really? Why don't you attack me with any of these? Why do you just sit there doing nothing with them? What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment, man. Bigger than my gameplay. Way bigger. The only thing more embarrassing than somebody who plays as bad as I am is the fucking opponent that loses to someone as bad as I am. Oops. Okay, I needed those anyway. Not me.
Upgrade complete.
Yeah, so it turns out I didn't even need siege mode, I guess. That's fine. Dude, the sheer number of Scourge that destroyed me. That's gotta be the thumbnail, man. This should be one of those things where I can put in a rotating cast of thumbnails. Oh, maybe they ran out of money. Because they're not defending, so. Can you believe we actually attritioned to the Overmind of all fucking people? And yes, the Overmind has no damage overlay. Underlay, TBH.
Executor, the Overmind
Oh,
has been
I didn't even see this.
but I fear we have sustained severe damage ourselves. I will steer the Gantrathor into a collision course with the Overmind. If I can channel enough of the Dark Templar's energy through the hull of the Gantrathor, I should be able to bring swift death to the accursed abomination. Remember us, Executor. Remember what was done here today. May Adun watch over you.
Yeah, so Tassadar makes the ultimate sacrifice for no reason. We handily defeated him with a bunch of fucking unupgraded tanks and Goliaths, so that's just embarrassing. Yeah, his Legions of Scourge sure proved to be useful to ward off any Gantrathor activity, but I guess that'll be fine too. Like, everything about the experience we just witnessed indicates that Tassadar would not be able to do what he just said he was going to do by steering his fucking Gantrathor into the Overmind. Also indicates that the Gantrathor was perfectly fucking safe and barely took shield damage, if any damage at all, throughout that entire mission. The whole thing is a joke. The whole thing is a farce. They kill the Overmind in a cutscene, rather than having you achieve anything and have the satisfaction of defeating the Overmind yourself. Now that's embarrassing. But you know what else is embarrassing? The fact that Blizzard did not add the functionality for you to place units of multiple races in for the same player. So how did they get us the Terran Arsenal, you might ask? Via locations, and triggers, creating them. This is how they handled the creation of a multi-race player in their own game. That's embarrassing. Given that we start with this paltry force and shitty fucking layout and starting resources against all these clowns, I mean, they should have walked over us. Also, ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Oh man. Oh goodness. Anyway, this is the base that clearly needs to be taken by Mutas, doesn't? I mean, just fucking look at it. What the fuck is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these developers? Oh, the pain and suffering. And yeah. I guess this was the ramp that they all got stuck on, but maybe it was over here. I honestly don't remember. If it was this ramp, it's even more confusing, because why the fuck didn't they just go up? Okay, man. Maybe the other side was blocked too, and I just didn't scout it out. You never know, man. Yeah, pre-placing all this shit, pretty embarrassing. I get that the Overmind is supposed to have some element of significance when it comes to their, like they're meant to be the Overmind. Like, you want that to be reflected in their force, but why not also reflect it in their strength, their cleverness, in their wit, in their intelligence, their ferocity and tenacity? Why not any of that be reflected by their gameplay? You know, like, the only thing tenacious about them was the fact that they constantly rebuilt Scourge, and I guess I drained them of all gas by doing that, because they rebuilt those Scourge. It's a fucking defense used AA-20 Scourge or something, man. That's crazy. Phew. I don't really have much to say about this. For a final mission, it is quite small, honestly. It's only 192 by 182, and has barely any expansions for you to take in the grand scheme of things. What a mess. We're not done just yet, though. We've got a cutscene to watch. That's the Beta Mutalisk attack. Just reuse the Mutalisk animation from the end of the Zerg campaign. Love it. I think they just played Defiler sounds when those Guardians flew by the way. As the chaotic, swirling energies subsided, a heavy silence settled over the battlefields of Aiur. Due to Tassadar's noble sacrifice, the Overmind was now dead and the Zerg swarms were scattered and broken. But as the heroes surveyed their once glorious homeland, they realized that their victory had cost them all but their lives. Aiur was left nothing more than a smoldering ruin. Those few Protoss who survived the final battle could barely finish the dialogue, or epilogue. And far away on the distant planet of Char, Kerrigan, the self-styled queen of anime, knew that the time of her ascension was at hand. Ha! Can't say game design in this game. Fuck you. Well, anyway, that was the Protoss campaign. That cutscene shows that StarCraft 2 is lying to you when it says that the corpse of the Overmind is still there, is literally fucking disintegrated. All that remained were Zerg rubble, actually. The Zerg rubble graphic was all that was left. So, nice game there, StarCraft 2. Nice retcon. Just retcon everything, to be honest. Not just Brood War, but everything. Just do it all, man. Just make it a new fucking Warhammer 40,000 fanfiction. Would have served you better. Beyond that, we also have the fact that Tassadar animes himself and his ship into the Overmind. I thought for the longest time that cutscene showed the Overmind trying to put together a warp portal and escape that way. But I actually now don't know if maybe the Tassadar created that black hole looking motherfucker, that warp void portal thing, that maybe that had something to do with it. Like Tassadar was creating that and sending him off somewhere. I mean, I'm not sure what the significance of that is. It's a little quizzical. It's obviously very unclear. It's one of the few things in the game that they don't just outright tell you what it is, but they also don't do a very good job of giving you enough information to figure it out on your own anyway. Like, it's a balance, you know? So that's confusing, because obviously we never see anything that can do that. I mean, we would assume the Overmind can actually travel through the warp, or whatever the fuck it's called in StarCraft. I guess travel using warp technology, we'll say. We're warp space, I think that's what the Cerebrits call it anyway. We're assuming that the Overmind can do that because he creates a portal in one of the other cutscenes and obviously he travels around it anyway somehow, so it only makes sense. But I don't really know what the fuck was going on in that cutscene, to be honest with you. Obviously as the beta Mutalisk attack, almost called it a Betalisk. Yeah, that's a new Hydra unit, Betalisk. So, you know, more inconsistencies with the gameplay, gotta love it. All in all, I guess the choreography is okay. It was rather tense in some parts, so they did accomplish something there. But obviously feels very removed from the experience. And anytime a cutscene kills off a character or an entity or accomplishes some really big plot element, it's taking the credit and impact away from the player. We killed the Overmind for all intents and purposes. We killed the unit that is the Overmind. And the idea that the Overmind would then be killed in a cutscene kind of defeats it, deflates the whole thing, defeats the purpose of us doing all the work. Who's to say that we had to clear the way for Tassadar in the first place? That's not like it was the main objective in the first place. That's not like we even had to position Tassadar to be in a position to do that. Certainly was not the plan. Certainly was not even the subtext of the mission. So really just feels very silly that we don't get to have the satisfaction of killing the Overmind ourselves. We instead have to see it accomplished by a character in our stead, in a cutscene. Very, very lazy, very boring, very bland, very other adjective that describes Blizzard. So, lard. Yeah, I don't know, man. Pretty unfortunate that this is the way it panned out. But, you know, it is what it is. All I can tell you is I did not enjoy myself in vanilla, and I can only assume it's going to get worse in Brood War. So my retrospective on the Protoss campaign really is an echo of everything that I've said thus far. A bunch of pre-placed enemies and a slog, a grind. They somehow managed to make the strongest attack move race neutered in the face of all of the pre-placed junk and the infinitely Scourge spamming Mongols. Say what you will about the project, but didn't really teach us much at all about what StarCraft is all about gameplay-wise. Gave us very incorrect opinions and, gave us incorrect baselines and first experiences, first impressions of the game and of its lore, frankly, with the cutscenes being as inconsistent from the gameplay as they actually are. So basically, it did not accomplish anything that it set out to do as a product, or that we would like it to have set out to do as a product. That's what we got, man. That was vanilla. That was StarCraft, the first 3 Because 3 episodes. I hope you'll join me for the last 3 Because 3 episodes in Brood War. I guess that'll be in the next 3 Because 3 days. Bye.